Ew. Let me get this situated here. Get the going in over there. Yep, 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 yep. Okay, 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 okay. All right. Looking good. I think we're good to go. Let me get this shared up real fast. Okay. I'm cooking with grease now. Yes, we are. One quick check over here. Because I'm trying new things out all the time. Most of the time. All right, I guess. I guess we up and rolling, right? Good morning. Mm-hmm. All right, that's a couple games, maybe two or three games that I didn't look at yet, and that's fine, right? Sid, what's up, man? What's up, Sid? Hey, Sid, did you use that? Did you use that referral? If so, um, what's up, Pat? If you did use that referral, Sid, I didn't see it in the thing, so if you didn't use it right, I don't know. We'll see. Got to make sure. Might have to get your email to make sure. Might have to get your email to make sure, because I didn't see it. I didn't see it pop up in there, right? So I gotta see. I gotta see. And make sure those. Make sure they got. Make sure they got you on file as you being referred by me. I did look in there. Okay, so I'll reach out to them. Might have to get your email at some point in time, but it is what it is. If you can inbox me your email, how about that? And then, because they're gonna ask me, well, what's the dude's email? And I'll show them. I'll sell them. So, other than that, I bet that's for sure. Other than that, appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Other than that, we got 15 games today. Hey, what's up, Tiff? And hey, my girl here. So, I got a funeral to go to tomorrow, man. Um, I didn't even read the damn thing right. I got some I got some brand new white shorts in there. So we wearing red and white, man. I got some brand new white shorts in there, but I can't do that. I can't go to no funeral with no white shorts. I got some brand new 11s or 12s, 11s or 12s in there that I had never even worn. Right, my cousin, cause he got shot, so he had a. I should have had that picture made, man. He got a picture sitting on the car with some red and white Jordans on and a red shirt with some white pants. I should have just had that shirt made and then wore the same thing he wore. But it is what it is. D-Bass killed my A-leg with a cash out. Yeah, Tiff, I hit that. I hit a parlay. I hit a parlay. So on that tip, I sure did. I told you I had the D-backs. That was crazy, but it is what it is. Um, probably gonna. She said, "What's up, Sid?" I'm probably gonna get to posting on Twitter a little bit more. I did post some wins on there, but I didn't post it pre-flop. So I probably need to get back to posting on Twitter. Uh, we'll see. We'll see. Right. I probably got to get back to posting on Twitter. So at the end of the day, I did have some wins over there, but I didn't post. This is a bankroll builder here. Just a couple parlays because I thought about it. It was 7-Eleven day, so I'm like, okay, fuck it, man. I'm gonna do some parlays and nothing. All the same thing that we were going over. You know what I'm saying? We went over the same shit. You know, pitching outs. I'm surprised all these guys hit their pitching outs. So I end up getting there, and then on the parlay right here, I end up cashing that in right there. But at the end of the day, y'all know what it is, man. Straights rule over everything. Let's take a look at the weather real fast. 'Cause I didn't look at the weather this morning. Um, that would have been my second parlay. I won the first. I still won the first parlay. Santana, yo, what up, Santana? Santana Schemes was going for a no hitter, and the coach took him out. The second one here blew me. Yeah, I know it did. I know it did. I know it did. I know it did. Definitely. So wait a minute. Let's see what he says real quick. Today is a glorious day because not only do you get my MLB weather forecast for free, as always, you also get my exclusive Weather Edge tool. Um, to quantify how much of an impact the weather is, will have on home runs, runs, and ERAs. So if you want to take a look at his weather edge tool, something like that, you can probably come over here and click on that link. I ain't gonna look at it. I'm gonna jump straight into the weather, into the regular weather, and I'm gonna go just like that. And we have weather, which I didn't know, which I should have looked at earlier, right? So Los Angeles, Dodgers, Detroit, maybe a raindrop or two, probably not even that. Oakland and Philly, plenty of rain around leading up to the first pitch. Not much rain after the first pitch. I think they could get away with a late start and play, though we'll need to. Though we'll need. Uh, though we'll need to see the pregame radar to be sure. New York Yankees and Baltimore. Essentially a carbon copy of what I'm seeing in Philly. There's rain around early, but it but it mostly falls apart around game time. Late start and play seems like the most likely outcome. Okay. Um, Miami and Cincinnati. A few spotty showers around. If one pops over the ballpark, a delay is possible. I won't be messing with any pitchers in that game anywhere it go. Kansas City Royals at Boston. High res models show a cluster of showers passing just west of Boston in game. If that's correct, we play with no issues. If that's off by a few miles, we might get a delay. I'll lower the risk pregame if the models continue to show the rain west. Humid with winds out to left center at 10 miles an hour. This is important because the Kansas City Royals and Boston game, big time strikeout implications with Reagan's on the mound. And his strikeouts open up at 7.5. I'll gladly take some unders if the weather looks bad, right? And some alternate unders because you can alter under on ESPN bet. However, just got to keep an eye out for the weather. Be mindful of the weather. I hate to see anybody lose any money because of the weather. Colorado and New York Mets, another game that I like Baltimore, like Philly, we'll have some scattered storms around early, clearing quickly this evening. In all of these games, I think the likely uh, worst case outcome is just a late start and play. But I like to check the radar pregame before removing a bit of orange in the forecast. So at the end of the day, all these games that have weather implications, go there, read them, get your research, get all your ducks in a row, so you know what to do if these games play. Get your ducks in a row. These games don't play, there's plenty of money to be made elsewhere, right? So at the end of the day, you know, that's what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you be up on these lineups, your straights, and all that, right? So it is what it is. Let me see what I got here. Okay, said got you. Said okay, yeah. And for my people that's in here, drop a like on the video. No matter if you're on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, whatever the case may be, drop a like on the video for me. Let me know I ain't doing this for nothing. After the All Star break, I know I said I'll be dropping something in there for the pay for the not the pay, but the people who like to support me on YouTube. The membership guys, I know I said I'm gonna just postpone that, push that out to after the All Star game, right? Because this takes a lot of research, takes a lot of my time, but it is what it is. Today, I want to try to breeze through it a little bit faster, all right? I do need to go to the store and try to find me a white pair of pants real quick. I know I'm all late and all this, but I do need to go do that. Okay. So first game on the docket here, we got the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Detroit Tigers. Here we got an over under 8. We got Scuba on the mound. We got Paxton on the mound. I get a pitcher leaning towards Detroit for sure. This I'm not a big fan of Paxton. I'll tell you that right now. Um, I do have some bets to the side. I looked at this game last night, so I have to go back and take a look again. And then, unfortunately, I didn't put those bats over here. And there was a few bats that I looked at. I didn't put them bats over here, so I'll go look at this game right now. Uh, Tiffany says she likes Detroit to win this game. I can see instances where Detroit wins this game as well. So to keep it funky with you guys, I will go over this game real quick, and for the people, and that'll give people a chance to see some of the research tools and things like that. And we'll get straight to it, right? So Detroit going up against Paxton. Definitely know he's a lefty there. Um, I think some of the I think it was I forgot his name. I think Winsell stood out to me. We'll see though, right? I think it was Winsell though, man. I ain't even gonna lie. I think it was some of the righties. Um, okay. Uh, hmm. So let me make sure I got everything right here. Yeah. So Paxton. So what Paxton is doing right now, he's pitching his worst versus lefties. I mean versus right hand pitching. I know this, right? So I have to reiterate this and go through the back door, right? So let's go through the back door and let's check his splits. I always want to, Ed, what up, Ed? What's going on, my boy? What's up with it? Um, so I want to run to the back door right real fast, right? So they'll be on the road, okay? So Paxton. He's got a 5.3 ERA on the road. He's pitching his worst on the road, right? To what handedness is he pitching his worst on the road? On the road to lefties, right? And then he's giving up a 286 batting average to lefties, along with a 264 batting average to righties. His K percentage, 21% to lefties. That's league average. And 19% to righties, just like whatever, right? Paxton is trash. I would never put him on the DFS lineup again. He gave you a -3. Man, I can't fuck with Paxton in no shape, form, or fashion on DFS for sure. Taking a look at some of his game logs real fast. Um, so there's instances where he does get his ass lit up in certain spots. San Francisco Giants just tagged him. That's probably that game you was talking about, Tiff. San Francisco Giants were hitting lefties really, really good. Pittsburgh, they got to him for 7 runs. Cincinnati got to him for 5 runs, and Arizona got to him for 4 runs. Right, but there is times where he does show flashes of not getting hit extremely hard. So right now, maybe I didn't put no pit batters right there because maybe I didn't like anything. That was probably what it was. I'll take a look at some of these lefties too, but let me see. So I would have to extend this out. That's what it was, right? Anytime batters facing lefties, you don't see lefties a lot. A lot of teams just don't see lefties a lot. These are only five. None of these at bats are double digit at bats. So I might have to move out to like 2 months or something like that to get a good sample size, right? And then that's where I came up with win sell. So I knew it was win sell, whatever the case may be. My thing, what I do like is Paxton don't strike out much. Batters and some of these batters right here that's up in super green right here, they don't strike out much versus this pitcher's pitch mix. So I like that, right? At the end of the day, it's just they just haven't seen a lot of lefties, and in this time span here, Only 12 plate appearances. I mean, he's still batting 333 versus that. No home runs, a couple extra base hits. You know what I'm saying? So it's possible. It's possible. It's just hard for me. Even though these guys are green, it's still hard for me to identify what's going to happen with such a small sample size versus these left-hand batters. And these guys, I mean, left-hand pitchers, and these guys don't really see a lot of them, and they don't have the biggest bats. Last but not least, I will go here and check some of the high hit rates and things like that, right? Um, hmm. So as you can see, Scuba right here, he's all red with a 30% K rate, walk percentage is down, expected batting average 211, just everything, right? So Paxton, he's all blue, right? 8.4 barrel percentage, hard hit percentage up at 41.8, expected batting average 263, whatever the case may be. So I ain't even gonna lie, y'all know I have, I give you guys my bats, I give you guys my bats, all that, whatever, right? At the end of the day, right now, I'm having trouble. I'm having trouble, goddammit, nailing down what bats I like in this game. I'll say this: he's throwing his fastball 50% of the time to lefties, and you know, Riley Green is a pretty good fastball hitter. So I don't know if I looked at Riley Green last night. I'll take a look at him right now though. So right now, Riley Green over the last couple months, he is pretty good, but the K rate is up versus lefties. Him and Cole Keith. Speaking of Cole Keith's been on fire, but that's been versus righties. So you know what I'm saying. You got to take this handedness and everything like that into consideration. Versus lefties, Cole Keith haven't been doing nothing, but you haven't been seeing him. So right now, I just don't know what to say. Right now, I can filter this to just be versus now I mean just in general, if I filter this just in general, then or put it just to righties, um, some people are gonna light up. But so let me see something here. That must not have been that fastball what Cole Keith has been hitting. Um, Let me add the sequin cutter in that just for a little bit of clarity here. So I don't know what pitch that Keith has been hitting, right? I don't know. Don't know. Either way it go, um, if I had to choose a side here, it would probably be Detroit. But as you can see, I don't have any bats put to the side last night. I forgot what the fuck I was doing last night, but I didn't put any bats probably because I didn't like any bats here. That's probably what it was. And then given the pitching matchup for Scuba on the other side, I think I was just under the fuck it. Like, I ain't even gonna go there type shit. That's probably what it was. So I hadn't looked at this Dodgers game since last night. Don't know what's gonna happen. I get a pitcher leaning towards Detroit. Detroit minus 142 favorites. Do as you will, man. Do as you will. I feel like I just wasted a whole bunch of time on nothing on that one. That was my bad, right? I might still go find something to scrape up in that one, but I mean, Otani is always in play. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, right? Oakland Athletics at you know what though? Damn. Didn't I think this was the day that I was going to bet on Otani? I think this was the day. I think I said last night this was the day that I was going to bet on Otani. So let me rewind it back real fast. We rewind it back real fast. I think this was the day I said I was going to bet on him, even though he's pretty good. Scuba was really, really good. I think this was the day I said I was going to bet on him, but he's giving up most. Scuba's giving up most of his power to left, right hand batter. Sinker, slider, change up. Let's see. Hmm. So, Otani, over the course of the last 6 weeks, he is batting 300 versus that, right? Versus this pitch mix for this pitcher here, the last month. 350. He's got three extra base hits, two home runs over the last month with a 16% K rate. Definitely like that. Three last 3 weeks. Still in the green. Uh, don't know, man. Don't know. He's batting 300. Uh, However we want to look at it, he'll probably be the only bat that I probably was looking at. I know Teoscar Hernandez is somebody who does hit righties, so you can definitely take a look at lefties. You can definitely take a look at that. Teoscar Hernandez is one of those guys, but I think Teoscar Hernandez does strike out a ton. Uh, Looking at that four seamer and that changeup, over the course of a month, Teoscar Hernandez is batting 400 along with Andy Pages. Not a big sample size, but they are batting 400 versus this pitch mix right here, this fastball and this changeup. I could add in that slider and that sinker, um, just his full arsenal. And if I add in that full arsenal, his strikeout percentage goes up. Teoscar Hernandez to 26%, but he's still batting 300 versus that. No bombs or nothing like that. But he's 6 for 18, right? If I want to bring it in a little bit to the 3 weeks or something like that, then his batting average goes up to 300. His striking out strike percentage comes down. His least two pitches he's throwing is that sinker and that slider. I can take those two out, and then his batting average goes up a little bit. But at the end of the day, you still got good pitching, right? As you can see, Scooble, he's a dog, right? As you can see right here, 31% hard. All this is red. That means, yeah, you already know. So those are some ways that you can look at this game. At the end of the day, take what you like, leave what you don't. I ain't gonna say I'm recommending anything there. Um, Maybe if you want to take a look at Scooble, see what this team is doing, at least as a whole in the strikeout category or something like that, we can take a look at the Dodgers versus left-hand pitching on the season here. The Dodgers strikeout percentage is 18% with 128 WRC plus, meaning on the season they've hit lefties pretty well. But what have you done for me lately? Going to the last 30 days, slide back down here to the bottom. Last 30 days and 245 plate appearances. That's probably one of the lowest K rates I've seen at 14.7 with a 120 WRC plus. So it is what it is. Probably can be, they might be able to come out here and hit them. They might not be able to come out here and hit them. Last 2 weeks here, 14% K rate and 97 plate appearances, 287 WRC plus. I don't know who they fucked up. They fucked somebody up in the last 2 weeks. They were hitting hard. So at the end of the day, it is what it is, right? Last but not least, Scooble. We can take a look at some of his splits real fast just to give you guys a in-depth look of what he's doing versus these versus respected handedness and stuff like that. At home, he's got a 1.7 ERA. He is at home. On the road, he's got a 2.9 ERA. In general versus lefties, he's giving up a 182 batting average versus righties in general, a 198 batting average. At home versus lefties, his strikeout percentage is sitting at 34% at home versus righties, 27% on the road. A little bit better versus righties on the road, but at the end of the day, uh, this is what we're talking about just at home. A batting average of 267 versus lefties at home. This is his worst split out of all. 267 at home. That's what kind of steered me towards the Otani way, right? He's pitching his. If you ever want to target him, you want to target him at home versus lefties. But he still got a high ass K rate at 34% versus lefties. But I'm guessing if he's getting hit, he's gonna get hit by a lefty at home. That's a lot. That's a lot, right? That's a lot. That's a lot to be even. You know what I'm saying? So, whatever, right? Last but not least, I will show you guys his game log, right? So we can clear the whole air right there. Clear the whole air. Clear the whole air. Clear it on out. Air it on out, right? So he's around 6 innings pitched just about all the time. He spent 6 innings in every game except for one, two, three, right? So why do I need to know that? Because I like to see, I like to bet pitching outs. Okay, so his pitching outs are sitting at 17 and a half at a plus at a minus 215 as a parlay piece. It'll be 18 and a half for plus money soon, right? So he's hit that 18 and a half, which would be going into the seventh inning and get us one out and wouldn't care what he does after that. Strikeouts. Six strikeouts or better in every game except for one, two. That's nice, right? Last time he pitched was versus Cincinnati. He stretched their ass out for 13 Ks. So his strikeout proper sitting at 6.5, favored to the over, and I'm telling you right now, I showed you guys what the strikeout numbers look like. That don't mean that they can't get Dodgers can't get their ass strike out, but at the end of the day, they was like one of the top three least striking out teams in the league. All right, so I'm done with that shit, right? I might as well go all the way in since I went in at first, right? So at the end of the day, let me try to go through this game. Now we got weather implications for this Oakland game, right? So be mindful of the weather, right? Be mindful of the weather. As far as the bats here, I got them to the side. For my people who just like to bet hit. You could look at all these bats. Any bat I got to the side, baseline hit parlays, right? Whatever the case may be. If it's anything other differently, I'll let you know. Um, Trey Turner, Bryce Harper, those guys looked pretty good, right? Now I do need to add a Rooker in here. I do need to add Brent Rooker in here because he looked pretty good. I remember that, so I forgot to add him in. I must have did this game last night as well. If you guys want me to go through this game real quick, I can go through this game just for a bats from a bats perspective, just to show you guys what I was looking at. Uh, give you a little bit better, right? And I want to say Trey Turner is the top bat here. I need to put some of the top bats. I need to start putting the top bats to the side to save myself some time, right? So Trey Turner was probably my top bat here, to tell you the truth, right? So I need to come out at least give it like one bat, not a lot of more bats, just one bat. I need to work on that. I need to work on that. I need to work on that. Full seam fastball. So versus lefties. Not a big sample size, like I said, but Trey Turner has been carrying the torch. We know what the deal is with that. Alec Bohm, he's been hitting left. Last year he was hitting lefties really, really good. This year he switched up more. He's hitting righties more, right? So that's one thing right there. So I'll just leave it filter for the last month because we know Trey Turner has been in fuego, right? 6% K rate, like yeah. I really like him, right? 357 batting average last week in the last 7 days, 500 batting average right there. So yeah, he's definitely looking pretty good there. Switching over to the lefties, then we got a multitude of lefties. I mean, the two lefties would be Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper. Those boys look pretty good too. I got to really get the pitch mix looking together. Fasting slider. And I think that slider is what Kyle Schwarber likes. But over the course of a month, even with these guys been missing time, they was looking pretty good. Kyle Schwarber, 16 at bats, 5 hits, three, everything. The hard hit is up. The K percentage though, he will strike the fuck out for sure. Bryce Harper, his strikeout percentage is down. At the end of the day, the top two bats for the lefties and the top two bats for the righties I like. Bohm, Bohm, Turner, Harper, Schwarber, right? Bryce Harper is batting 455 and over the course of a month versus this pitch mix, right? And with a 15% K rate, if this game plays, like I said, we got weather implications. If this game plays, I'll be looking at hits, runs, and RBIs for all these bats, all the way up to a home run, man. You know what to do. Y'all know what the deal is, man. Straight up, right? So, definitely, right? But we do got weather implications here. They big ass 290 favorites, moneyline parlays, moneyline straights. It would be in favor of Philly, but you got to be mindful, right? You got to be mindful of the dogs, man. Because I was about to leave. I was about to leave, man. So it's ways that you can attack. It's ways that you can attack dogs and stuff like that, man. So look, as you can see over the season, right? Oakland 23% K rate versus lefties, but they sporting a 108 WRC plus, man. 108 WRC plus. That's over the season. That's pretty good for this weak ass squad. Last 30 days, um, Oakland way down here, right? Last 30 days, only 130 plate appearances though. That's the killer. That's the kicker. That's a very small amount. Wait a minute. Are they going up against a lefty? Yeah, that's a very small amount or plate appearances versus a left-hand pitcher over the course of a month, 130. So you got to try to, you know what I'm saying? They ain't seen a lot of lefties. And look at that WRC plus. Whoever that was, they seen they cracked them. They cracked them, bro. 182 WRC plus, they cracked them. So if y'all want to take it, I have to give y'all now. I got to give y'all a sneak peek of the Oakland bats. I got to, right? Um, going up against these lefties here, so we got two lefties on the mound. Ranger Suarez, right? Um, hmm. Ranger Suarez. We're gonna start off with the righties, right? He's throwing all types of shit though. That's cutter, change up, sinkers, and all this shit. Ain't nobody finna put all that shit in there, man. Oh, fuck. Yeah, I throw that shit in there. Whatever. What is this? Right hand batters. Hmm. Okay, versus all this bullshit, that shit he's throwing, right? Um, Not a big sample size. Not a big sample size. But I do got Rooker in there because I know who he is. I know what he does, right? If you just want to be technical, yeah, he's got a 16% K rate, 80%, 87% heart rate, barrel 44%, three bombs, 556 batting average, whatever, all that shit, right? 1,000 isolate ISO, all that shit against this pitch mix, right? Now I can't take nothing from him. I mean, I ain't gonna take nothing from him, but you do got to take into consideration the pitching, right? Now, I'll go out to 6 weeks a little bit farther, get a bigger sample size here, and he's looking good, right? And the jar is looking good, right? Like, I need to run a check on Jar, right? I need to run a check on him. He's got a 615 batting average over the course of over that time span. So last 2 months, last 2 months, 23 paper. It looks a little bit more civilized, right? 348 batting average. Yeah, last 2 months look a little bit more civilized, right? 30% barrel rate, K rates around 23%. But that's a big sample size to even have to go off of. Long story short, last week, Brent Rooker's been hitting it. You know what I'm saying? I'll be looking at Brent Rooker there, right? Schumerman, whoever, I don't know, right? But hey, at the end of the day, it is what it is. That's I just if these guys decide to get upset, then you know why. That's my thing, right? Suarez, one more thing. Where are they? Or that helps you with the over. Shit like that. Suarez, you want to bet team totals or something like that. First five team totals, like this first five team total for these guys might end up being 1.5, right? That's something you might want to take a stab at, right? Uh, so um, Ranger Suarez is pitching pretty good. He's pitching pretty good. He's pitching pretty good. He's pitching pretty good, right? Mm. He ain't getting too hard here versus lefties or nothing like that, or versus righties or nothing like that. He looks good. He looks good. Definitely Phillies or nothing. Just you know, you want to find a loophole or something like that. You really got to climb dig and deep trying to find some loopholes. Now, Cleveland Guardians and Tampa Bay Rays, we got Carrasco, we got Bradley on the mound. Um, this is Bradley's. I'm looking at this game here for bats. I did put, for not for bats, for probably pitching. Now I did put Josh Naylor to the side, and that will probably just be for a baseline hit or something like that, right? But looking at what the fuck is that boy's name? Looking at Tosh Bradley, where I wanted to attack this game, I wanted to was the strikeouts, and I want to say this is probably his best split, right, versus lefties because we know he got that shit, right. Um, this is probably his best split at home versus lefties for the K percentage. Now, at home versus lefties, he's got a 42% K rate, right? At home versus righties, he's got a 32% K rate. At home versus lefties, he's got a 182 batting average, along with versus righties, he's got a 119 batting average, okay? That's phenomenal, okay? Now, versus lefties, this Cleveland team versus lefties, um, at this Cleveland team, yeah, you know I got it, Tiffany. Just a couple tabs because these are the spots people are gonna flock to just off the naked eye without even looking, right? So Cleveland on the season versus right hand pitching. I can scroll to the bottom because I know they striking out at 18%. They the second best at not striking out, right? On the season with a 103 WRC plus. Now, last 30 days. Scroll down here to the bottom. Cleveland, 18.7%, same shit. 106 WRC plus. They the fifth worst, best at not striking out. Last 2 weeks versus righties. Cleveland, round about the same, 19%, 96 WRC plus, right? So at the end of the day, I can just look at the last 7 days too. Fuck it, since I didn't went that far. But um, Cleveland last 7 days. Um, where are they? Oh, 192 plate appearances. They number one at not striking out. But um, I'm saying that to say I'm just showing, right? At the end of the day, I'm just showing. Does that mean he won't get his strikeouts? That don't mean that. That don't mean that. This would be a good strikeout team versus a good strikeout pitcher. Maybe may the best win, right? May the best win. He's got one. He's got the highest K rate I've seen for anybody versus a handedness, right? Look, he's got at home versus lefties. That's 42%, right? So at the end of the day, let's take a look and see who he's been pitching against. I know he probably ran across Seattle. I know he probably ran across Oakland, right? Go, So let's see. Let's check his game log. At home versus Washington. How the fuck did he get 11 Ks? I don't know. At home versus Seattle, 8 Ks. I'm at home versus the Cubs, 11 Ks. At home versus Baltimore, 7. At home versus the Royals, 6. At home versus Boston, 10. At home versus the Yankees, 7. So it definitely looks legit. It definitely looks legit. I can't take nothing from him. Um, and outside of this Baltimore game where he got lit up at, and this Boston game he got hit pretty good. He gave up 2 home runs there. Shit, he looked pretty good. So, what can I say, bro? I mean, I don't know. I don't know about his strikeouts. That's what I'm looking at for him. On the other side, Tampa Bay, there was a couple bats that stood out to me that I didn't list. It was I'm gonna tell you who it was. I didn't put them in my player pool. It was Brandon Lowe. Mm. Brandon Lowe and another motherfucker. Man, straight up. But I was on the side against these bats. I do expect Tampa Bay to put up some runs on these guys, but we got over under 7.5. One thing about Carrasco, I will tell you this: as big as a fan I'm not of Carrasco, it's just he ain't give up more runs. I thought he was giving up more runs than I thought, right? So I'd say 3 earned runs. Okay, more than 3 earned runs, then that's when we're in the danger zone. So he's giving up more than yeah. He popped in there too. He popped in there too. Paredes, I think Paredes popped in there. But at the end of the day, he has given up more than 3 runs. Only one, two, three, four, five. I ain't gonna say only five. That's I guess that's a lot. I guess that's a lot. Um, I guess that's a lot. I'll tell you this: I do expect them to get hit. I just don't know how. I just don't know how. I don't know how. Overall, this team here versus right-hand pitching, Tampa Bay. Let's take a look. Last 30 days, what they've been doing. Tampa Bay Rays 10th in striking out, 108 WRC plus. They have picked up the offense as of late. I see. Tampa Bay Rays last 10 days, last 2 weeks, 25% K rate, 78 WRC plus. So I think they've been hitting lefties a little bit better as of late. That's who they've been getting a hold to. So, like I said, we got an over under 8 in this spot. I would wanted it to be a little bit more than 8. Maybe they got Bradley. Maybe they got. Maybe they think Bradley's going to pitch pretty good here. I don't know. We'll see. I'm so undecided in this one. Definitely undecided, bro. Straight up. Um, we've been here for how long? 40 minutes already. All right. So the New York Yankees here. I'm gonna go through the rest of the bats here. I was looking. Gunnar Henderson looked good to me today. Okay, Gunnar Henderson lined up for the lefties. Um, Anthony Santander, I couldn't talk you off of him. Jordan Westberg was my favorite righty. Gunnar Henderson was my favorite lefty. Judge is self-explanatory. Soto, I like what I seen from Soto. Okay, that just sums it up right there. Not fucking with neither one of these pitchers. We got an over under 9, so it is what it is. Miami Marlins at Cincinnati Reds. We got an over under 9.5 in this ballpark. What I do know is Spears. He's pitching his worst to lefties, right? He's pitching his worst to lefties. So the bats get a bump. Lefty bats get a bump. Two bats to get a bump here would be the bat that looked the best for me was on Miami side was Jesus Sanchez. I had to add in Jazz Chisholm for the simple fact that the Speeds is pitching his worst versus lefty. So I put him in there. That don't mean I'm going to bet on him. Now, it was a multitude of bats that I like for Cincinnati. We know I'm explaining to you what this park. This park is the park that produces runs. I'm not a fan of Crinos for sure. So I mean, Ellie De La Cruz looked okay in certain instances. Will Benson looked okay in certain instances. You know, he can crack a bomb here and there. Tyler Stevenson looked good. Steer, uh, India. So I do expect traffic on the bases. This is one of those games I would expect traffic on the bases. Like I was all in. If you caught that YouTube short, I was all in on Boston yesterday. Luckily, Devers sold, but the rest of the guys made up for it. But I'm looking at traffic on the basis from the Cincinnati Reds side, period. Right? And Miami has been finding ways to hit little bombs here and there to be pesky. So um, I just feel like it would be somebody like Jesus Sanchez or Jazz Chisholm to cause some of that damage there. Right? Next play. Now we got weather implications for this Colorado game. New York Mets and Colorado's. One thing I will say here is it's all New York Mets for me, right? All the bats, whatever the case may be. It's probably going to be a bullpen game. And when we're looking at these bullpens, this year, 2024. Colorado's got the worst bullpen, right? So they can be constantly kicking on their ass all game long. This is a game that you can take who you like, whatever. Yes, ma'am. You can take who you like. Traffic on the bases. Another game where I expect to have traffic on the bases. This is a game that everybody can probably get a hit in. This is a game where box score is going to be lit. Hits, runs, and RBI ladders, and RBI parlays, shit like that, right? So I didn't even look at bats. I didn't even look at bats. They're going up against the worst bullpen in the league, right? Save me a little time. Y'all know who the bats are. Everybody's in play. Now watch the bullpen come out here and throw a no hitter. But no, it is what it is. All right, Kansas City Royals at Boston Red Sox. Boston Red Sox is still not named a pitcher. We got an over under 9 in the spot. Cole Reagan's one of the got a big time K rate right here, right? Boston, one of the they number one striking out team versus lefties. We know this, right? If you want to tip your expectations in certain type of ways, I can see instances where you can go towards his outs right now on the season. 29% K rate. Um, last 30 days, Boston, 29% K rate, 108 WRC plus. Last 14 days, um, Boston, 136 plate appearances, 37% K rate, 49 WRC plus, right? That's terrible. That's fucking terrible as hell. Now, um, Boston does have a lot of lefties. Depending on how the manager want to play this shit, you could look at this in a few different ways. Reagan's, right? Looking at his looking at his looking at his splits, um right now, he'll be on the road. He's got a 3.333 ERA at home and away on the road. Um, right now, in general, he's pitching his worst towards left-hand batters. He's got a 399 average on left-hand batters, man. 399 average. Now, on the road versus lefties. Wait a minute, where are they? Right on the road. Okay, so on the road, so he's got some weird ass splits, right? Let me just show you this, right? So look, at home versus lefties, he's got a damn near 400 batting average, man, with a 25% K rate, right? He's got damn near 400 batting average at home versus lefties. On the road versus lefties, he got a 138 batting average with a 12% K rate. So that shit's so weird. It's so weird how these pitchers, how these shit works out. So at home, he's not striking them out that much, but he's getting them out. He's getting them out, but not striking them out. Now, what I didn't do, I didn't look at his game log and see how and who he's been pitching against and shit like that. Which that shit I can't even decipher. I can't even decipher this shit even just looking looking at the I can't decipher how he did what and who he did what against. But he hasn't faced Boston. So that's one thing. But this year, last year he faced Boston and I'll show you what he done. Um, So I got him penciled in for his pitching outs, but I hadn't went there yet, right? See, it says added. I added it to my added it to my to my player pool. Now, last year, this is last year, he went almost 7 innings and he had 11 strikeouts versus Boston. Boston still ended up winning that game 6-2. Now, 2024, fast forward to 2024, he's hit his strikeout line in 8 of his last 19 games. Okay. Um, he hasn't faced Boston this year yet. Um, pitching outs would kind of look a little bit more sexy to me. He's 14 and 19 to his pitching outs. Okay. So, you know, excuse me. Um, if I'm going on a book like ESPN bet, where I know I could probably do the double up, I could do the trifecta, or whatever the case may be, however I want to do it, right? So I'll probably come over here. I got to make my mind up though. I ain't trying to be greedy. All I'm trying to do is double my money and I'm trying to make something, right? I'm trying to make something. At the end of the day, oops, my light. At the end of the day, I'm just trying to make something. I ain't trying to, I ain't trying to be greedy. But it's ESPN lets you do a few things, right? They let you, they come over here. You can take us out to 17 and a half. You can come over here and fuck with his strikeouts. They ain't super lenient, but I mean it is what it is, right? You can take 7Ks and you're still not gonna get plus money. Maybe last night you could have got plus money, but the lines, you know what I'm saying? 8Ks and pitching outs plus 114. I still don't know if I'm gonna go there, right? I do lean towards Kansas City, but I probably ain't gonna mess with them, right? I ain't probably gonna mess with them. One thing I do know, I have been messing with Kansas City at home a lot. On the road, I ain't been fucking with them, right? So I'm still undecided how I want to attack. How I want to attack Cole Reagans here. I'm probably gonna use his pitching outs in a parlay piece, right? Probably gonna use his pitching outs in a parlay piece, and we'll see what's gonna happen from there. Okay, I do got to over under 9 here. Don't know what the pitching gonna look like here. If it's a bullpen game, then Boston bullpen right around the middle of the pack, 3.6 ERA, right? So it is what it is, right? Um, damn, I didn't even look at this Washington Nationals, and I didn't even look at that. I skipped over this game. That's interesting. I skipped right over it. I don't know how I did that. What is Freddy Peralta's strikeouts? Damn, 6.5. Washington ain't been striking out that much. They way down there at the bottom, man. Third best at not striking out at 18%. Would 111 WRC plus. Scared of that shit. Um, I didn't even look at this game, man. I didn't. 114 WRC plus. They hitting. I didn't even look at this game. I didn't, man. So that's something I'm gonna have to look at. My bad. My bad. Texas Rangers, Houston Astros, over under 8, right? Now, I'll tell you what I know about this game. The lefties for Texas Rangers looked semi okay, right? Now I gotta plug my light up. The lefties for Texas Rangers looked good. I ain't gonna lie, they looked good. The lefties for the Texas Rangers looked good. So if you want to get to low, if you want to get to Corey Seager, be my guest. I probably will get to Corey Seager. Um, um, if I just had to take somebody from Texas, um, what's the name? Got some decent history from him. Marcus Simeon. He's got some decent history versus him. He's a righty versus Brown. And then Altuve. Altuve is probably my top bat from this game. And if Alvarez play, I would like him as well, right? As far as the side in this one, I don't know. But Altuve is one of my favorite bats today. So I'm knocking up Altuve, his runs and RBIs, whatever the case may be, right? So I like Altuve here, okay? Um, we know Corey Seager is good at baseball, so all that, it is what it is. I'm going to keep it moving. um, Pittsburgh Pirates and Chicago White Sox. Now, two of the worst bullpens in the league, we'll tell you that right now. But we'll start with Pittsburgh. Don't know who's going to be pitching, so if they decide to run a bullpen, so Colorado, they probably run a bullpen game. Bullpen's ass. Um, Chicago White Sox bullpen ass, Pittsburgh bullpen ass. Now, if Pittsburgh run out a bullpen game, then they're going to run out bullpen all game long. So the White Sox bat's going to be in play, right? So they have that. Expect them to be able to put up a few runs. Couple that with the fact that they'll be faced up against Garrett Crochet. That's another thing. However, on the Pittsburgh side, there were some pitchers, there were some batters that kind of like hit their pitch mix, right? Um, Jackson Winsky was hitting it at times. Reynolds just is an elite level hitter right now. So those are a few bats that Cruz look good at sometimes. Tellez look good at sometimes, right? So if they get to them, those will be the guys. It would be those lefties right there. Those would be the guys that get to Crochet. I'm not betting on none of them. I do like his. I do got interest in this 7.5 Ks along with his pitching outs. Um, but for some reason they didn't have his pitching outs out on FanDuel. With his case in at 7.5, I strongly. I mean, I say I lean towards the over. I wouldn't take the under. Pittsburgh team will show the ability to strike out, but at the same time, they at certain points of the time, like the last 30 days, last 14 days, they have been screeching past like in the 11th or the 13th place in striking out versus right hand pitching. So, but we know Crochet's got that shit. It would be the over or nothing if I even decided to go to his strikeouts, thought about his strikeouts, it would be over or nothing. And even if you want to ladder it, be my guest. I think you could, be my guest. If I had to take one bat from the Pittsburgh side, of course it would be Reynolds. Chicago Cubs, St. Louis Cardinals. Um, Out of everybody, Michael Bush, I had him pushed to the side. He looked okay. He looked good. He looked okay. But then you got to take pitching into consideration, and that's where Sonny Gray comes in, right? So I expect I expect I expect the St. Louis Cardinals to go upside the Cubs' head today. With Hendricks on the mound here, don't know how I rank these bats, but I did put some to the side. Don't know how I rank them, but Corey Seager's right there. Why the fuck isn't Altuve right there? I'll put him there. I gotta put him there now before I forget. Just slap him up there for a baseline hit. Nothing. Just to get him in the player pool. That's it. Just to get him in the player pool. All right. So, hmm. For the lefties, Alec Burson looked good. Okay. Um, Wilson Contreras looked good. Nolan Arenado looked good. Mason Wynn, they looked good. Right? They looked good. Um, Goldie, I, 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 I told y'all last time, Goldie's hitting for power right now. He went yard last time. You know what I'm saying? All these motherfuckers, they could end up tearing his ass up today, man. I seen more batters. I seen more batters. I'm gonna look for this game. I'm gonna look for this game to have traffic on the bases on the St. Louis Cardinals side. And then, like I said, if you just wanted to get to a bat, it would be Michael Bush, but I probably wouldn't even sweat it for the Cubs. I'm staying off of it, right? I'm looking at Sonny Gray. I'm looking at Sonny Gray in every fashion that you can look at him at, right? Outs recorded, I lean towards the over. Strikeouts, I'm damn near ready to take the strikeouts, right? At 6.5 at plus money. Everything lined up pretty good. We can take a look at some of the splits. He's at home. Um, can he sell sometimes? Jesse can sell sometimes. You know what I'm saying? This just it is what it is. No, not John Gray, Sonny Gray. So at home, he's got a 1.9 ERA. On the road, is probably where you don't want to fuck with him at. 5 ERA, right? At home versus righties, he's got a 36% K rate at home versus lefties. He got a 26.7% K rate. Batting average at home versus righties 130. At home versus lefties 230. Right. Okay. One thing I didn't do though. Let me take a look here. Let's look and see what he's been doing overall lately, right? He sold me just recently. I know that. Fucker. Um, Strikeout. So he's 7 for 16 to this number, right? Head to head versus this team. Let's see. So last year on the 12th, May 12th, he gave him 9 Ks. This year, May 26th, none changed. He gave him 8 Ks. The outs last year. So in this, he didn't hit his pitching guys in neither game. That game ended up being three this year. That game ended up being 3-4 Chicago Cubs. Oh no, to St. Louis. Um, he threw he threw 74 pitches. I don't like that shit. Right? I hate when they do that shit. Man. So his outs on the season. So there's times. So his last 2 games he pitched, he only had 13 outs right here, 15 outs right here. Probably got hit up versus San Francisco, Miami, and Pittsburgh. He went 7 innings, 3 straight games. Come back down here. Hmm. Cubs. Came out the gates pretty hot here. 5 of his last 6 games with 6 innings. He hasn't thrown 100 pitches, none this year. That's sometimes they be trying to baby him, man. So you gotta watch that. You gotta watch that, man. He ain't thrown 100 pitches yet. He's only thrown 90 pitches once in his last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games. That can be iffy, man. It can be iffy. Sometimes you'll be like, damn, man, they took him out, man. All that shit. So I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I would probably I wouldn't want him to fuck up my parlay. So I probably would be straight if I bet on any of that shit, right? And then the motherfucker get took out in the 5th inning. You know what I'm saying? Some shit like that, I'd be pissed off. All right, yeah. So it's St. Louis Cardinals. Give me the Cardinals money line parlays, money line straights. And this is right where the part where I kind of ran out of gas at. Uh, I'm so undecided in this game here, so I'm looking at. Uh, I'm probably just losing for a parlay piece, maybe a no runs first inning in this one here. I think that's something that you could probably look at here. Uh, Even if you just want to come over here and just go with the tie, uh, be my guest. You can get a tie at minus 150, and you can get a no one first inning at minus 138. That's pretty high, right? I would go with a tie as a parlay piece, or even if you want to use a parlay piece at a minus 1.5. I need to look more into this game. Look more into this game. I'll tell you this. What I will tell you is Anderson is in the strikeout spot, right? He's in a strikeout spot. He just had an outlier game. He's not a big strikeout guy, right? He's not a big strikeout guy. You know what? Let me show you here. He's not a big strikeout guy. Um, but let me show you what he done. And this was his last game. He had an outlier game. So he just went out and had 10 Ks versus the Chicago Cubs. I don't know how he did it. I don't know where it came from. That motherfucker was feeling himself, right? He is a lefty though. They strike out more versus righties than they do lefties. Um, Head to head versus his team last year, he had 6 Ks. He hasn't faced this team this year. Um, like I said, we know that Seattle is a high strikeout team. The strikeouts in at 4.5. It still could be an uphill battle. Make you sweat for it. Can it get there? Probably could get there. Still could make you sweat for it. Seattle number 2 in striking out on the season versus left-hand pitching. Um, Seattle is last 30 days versus left-hand pitching. Seattle is number 4 in striking out with a 104 WRC plus. In their last 14 days, they are uh, only at 82 plate appearances, so I won't even mention that. But they did hit them, whoever that's been at 169 WRC plus, right? So it is what it is. And that one, I probably look at it no one's first inning with Wu on the mound. Wu's been phenomenal. In most cases, he's been phenomenal. Um, San Diego game, Toronto game, and this Minnesota game, I did not look at neither one of these games. I ain't even gonna lie. What time is it, man? I got a few more minutes. How about I just what? Should I just go look at them right now? Let me see. Let me see what I'm working with real fast. Do a quick drive by on them. Fuck it. Let's do a quick drive by. Okay, Atlanta. Swellenbach, I'm just not a fan of him. Vasquez, I'm definitely not a fan of him. Right. Um, if I'm mistaken, Vasquez pitching his worst towards lefties. Take a quick look at Vasquez splits, and then we don't know exactly where we want to go. If I'm not mistaken, it's versus the lefties for Vasquez, right? Um, on the road, at home, where they at? He's at they at home. Um, ERA 6 on the road. Wow, that's terrible. Um, so at home versus lefties, he's giving up a 431 batting average. In general, he's lefties got a 431 batting average versus him, so he can't get hit, right? 431 batting average is bad, man. Damn. 6% strikeout rate to lefties automatically. So to lefties, so we're gonna be looking at guys like Kalenic leading off, Ozzy on the switch, Olsen, right? So let's take a look at these motherfuckers, man. Straight up. Straight up, straight up, straight up, straight up. How they doing it versus this pitch mix, right? Let's get this shit all in a whole. Um, ATL, Shawty. Mm, 407 batting average. Edwin said Paredes. Um, we got a right hand pitcher going. Okay, Tiffany. Um, okay. Olsen, man, what a difference a season makes, right? Olsen is. Mm. So I'm gonna say this real quick. We're gonna see more than likely you're gonna see Kalinick number one. Ozzy Albies probably be number three. Two. Um, Riley will probably be number three. Olsen will probably be number four. And then behind him will probably be Ozuna. Some shit like that, right? But at the end of the day, the first three batters will be hitting from the left side. This guy is giving up a 400 batting average to lefties. Okay, so that means despite these numbers right here, um, versus his pitch mix, they get still gonna get a bump because he's bad versus lefties. He's been bad versus lefties. So that's one thing, right? So in the pitch mix, so let's see. Let's look at the last month. So Kalinic's looking pretty good, right? 45 plate appearances, at bats, 15 hits. These guys will strike out. 15 hits, 333 batting average, isolated power sitting at 311, 6 extra base hits, 4 home runs. Yeah, 11% barrel rate, 53% hard hit. Line drive is up. Fly ball rate is down. It is what it is, right? Matt Olson. Damn, Matt Olson ain't been looking good. But hey, Matt Olson, the last 7 days, he's been seeing this. Him and Kalenic has seen this. He has a lot of at bats and still ain't doing shit with it, right? Olson. He got a lot of at bats versus this pitch mix. 17 at bats in the last week with a 176 double batting average. That's crazy. If it ain't one day he should get up, today should be the day he should get his ass up, but we'll see, right? All we can do is see. Kalenic looks good. Kalenic looks good. He can lead off bomb, whatever, right? He looks good. Um, these righties. Austin Riley. Austin Riley's been on fire, right? So, um, over the course of a month versus pitch mix, he's 17 for 35, 486 batting average, um, six man, that's wild, man. Damn, 8 extra base hits, 5 home runs, barrel percentage, all this shit look good. Ozuna looks good. Last 7 days, Ozuna, Duval, and Riley got all these guys. All three of these guys got a home run versus this pitch mix. Uh, yeah, right. Mm, let me see something. Vasquez versus righties. So at home versus righties, he's got a 194 batting average versus on the road versus righties. He's really terrible with a 328 batting average versus righties and a 429 versus lefties. However, in general, he's got a 257 batting average versus right hand batters. Can he get hit? Yes, he can get hit. Nobody's invincible. What's the total on this one? 8.5. Hmm. Well, only thing I can say about this here is, hey, lefties get a bump, right? Lefties get a bump. Lefties get a bump, and these righties here been they uh, Austin Riley been on fire. Okay, um, Ozuna looking okay. He's got 4 home runs. These motherfuckers, Ozuna and Riley, yeah, they got in the last month versus pitch mix. Yeah, man, it could be crazy, man. If them lefties show up, that motherfucker can be in trouble. So at the end of the day, you know, the lefties get a bump. I like also Rowley in general because he's been in Fuego. Marcelo Ozuna could be turning it around right now. So, this guy could be in some trouble. I don't know. We'll see. And then you got the Atlanta Braves that's just been terrible versus righties, right? They go out there and ain't get a fucking score yesterday. I took the Arizona. It was only 1-0. So they've been terrible versus right hand pitching. So maybe Vasquez get a bump because these motherfuckers can't hit righties right now. So I don't fucking know, right? Shit. Versus right hand pitching, these motherfuckers been terrible, man. Straight up. So at the end of the day, I don't know, man. I ain't even looking at that shit because we already know they've been terrible. On the flip side here, we're looking at hmm, San Diego. Mm, I'm not a big fan of Swellenbach. Um, This K percentage is down for these guys. That's one thing. The righties, at least. Manny Machado, 4 home runs, 12 for 42, 286 batting average, 310 isolated power, 5 extra base hits, 4 home runs, 10 hard hit balls, 3 of them launched. Couldn't talk you off him. Hassan Kim, uh, yeah. Cal, Cal got 3 home runs. Cal will take your ass deep, right? And he's got 12% K rate. Like he ain't even striking out. Yeah, he'll take your ass deep, man. Hassan Kim, Kyle, let's see, let's the last 3 weeks. Kim, Machado, Kyle. Damn, uh, Kyle on fire. Oops, my fault. Hmm. Machado had a lot of fucking at bats, and Kim, and Solano. Kyle only had 10. Mm. Last 2 weeks, that's when Machado hit these bombs in the last 2 weeks. I remember he had one game with 2 bombs in it. Okay. Kim, Machado, bomb from the right side. Mm. So it's not a lot of big striking out going on over here. So that bodes well for runs being put up. It's a series of these lefties just doing like okay. They doing just pretty good, right? Versus this pitch mix. It's some lefties that's doing pretty good, okay? Because they just not bad, right? They above average. I say that. Um, he's got a 282 batting average versus lefties. So this is probably where his worst split come in at. But he's getting hit by righties as well. Jackson Merrill, over the course of a month, has got 2 bombs versus pitch mix, almost a 30% K rate though. After Jackson Merrill, the rest of these guys don't even strike out. So Reyes, 220 batting average, profile 230 batting average, but he does have 3 home runs in that versus that pitch mix, right? Um, Cronenworth, 350 batting average with 2 home runs, 12 hits. Okay. Um, 13% K rate. Okay. 57 hard percent hit percentage in my profile. So, some of those guys, some of those guys looking pretty good there, right? From a perspective like this, if I was for sure Atlanta was going to do anything versus these righty, I would definitely look at the over. Last 3 weeks, it's tightening up. The same guys that I was just looking at, Merrill, Profile, and Cronenworth. Um, so those are some guys that I probably just think you probably just can't go wrong with. Merrill, Profile, and Cronenworth. Um, um, Merrill is the only one who don't have multiple home runs there. I couldn't talk off any one of those guys for hits, runs, and RBIs and things of that nature. Cronenworth, K percentage is going down in the last 2 weeks. Um, all three of these guys got a bomb versus them. So it is what it is. Those would be the 3 guys that I'm looking at from the left side of the plate. Okay. Toronto and Arizona. We got over under 9 here. Uh, take a quick look at. Let's look at Arizona real quick, right? Christian Walker, 275 batting average, 5 home runs, 9 extra base hit, 14 hard hit, line drive, 8 balls launched. Yeah, like fly ball rate. Yeah, for sure. Christian Walker, I like that. Right. Um. mm, is this a? Yeah. This is a. Wait a minute. Wait. This is a. Yeah. This is a bullpen game, ain't it? No. Does he usually start the games off, or does he just come in like a bulk reliever, some type of shit like that? I have to look into it, but uh, I have to look into it. Is he just fully starting this game? He did just pitch 6 innings versus Houston. He did give up a bomb, 2 earned runs. Uh, I know one thing: you don't want to be throwing that fastball versus this team because they will light your ass up. That's his top pitch. Suarez could be heating up. He just went yard last night. He's got 317 batting average with 2 home runs over the course of a month with 13 hits, 317 batting average. So that's somebody that you can look at there. Hmm. Suarez heating up versus that pitch mix. Pretty much anybody can hit this guy, but I need to know. He's look like he's getting a start. So this whole team hits fastball, so that's nothing that you need to really worry about. You probably just have to pick your favorite batter and just go with it from there. As far as the lefties here, um, I don't know, man. I don't know how this is working out. I don't know how this is working out real quick. Curveball. He's throwing that fastball 50% of the time. I'm just gonna look at that. Jock Peterson, Marte. They got a lot of people that hit that fastball on this team. So I mean, I expect runs to be put up here. I can't just pinpoint not one bat. I want to see what the lineups come out at. Jock Peterson, of course, if he's in the lineup. Marte, of course, if he's in the lineup. I haven't been betting on Corbin Carroll. All top three guys right here. Perdomo can hit lefties too. I mean, fastball too. Um, these guys here, they're not really striking out. These guys are in the lineup. Jock Peterson will strike out, but can he strike him out? That's the thing, right? K percentage is only 20 towards lefties, so it is what it is, right? It is what it is. He hasn't pitched that much this season. Not that many innings that I would thought, but I guess pretty much undecided in that one. But there are some good bats to looking at. Looking at there are some good bats there. Ryan Nelson, not a big fan of Ryan Nelson, but he continues to play to pitch well. You know what I'm saying? He pitch okay. Toronto, I thought I seen Vladdy. I thought it was Vladdy. Um, don't quote me if I'm wrong, but I think Vladdy stood out pretty well in this spot here. He's got a 300 batting average versus righties. Here's another guy who's throwing that fastball pretty a lot, man. Mackey says he's undecided on Vlad or Springer. Springer popping out, ain't he? That 52% of the time with that fastball is, interesting. Uh, Turner looked good lately versus that pitch. Look at Springer and Vladdy damn near identical with 324 batting averages. All that shit damn near identical, man. So both of those guys can go on the list. I mean, Justin Turner's been looking okay. IKF down here balling. Um, what are they hitting like that? Let me tell you. If I take the slider down, still look good. If I take this cutter down, it's the fastball, and he's throwing that fastball 50% of the time. So I'm definitely gonna like those guys. Okay, I'm gonna like those guys. Vlad, Springer, Turner. Have interest in Turner. It would be Vlad or Springer for me though. Tell you the truth. Springer's been hot. Vladdy's been hot. He's got 4 home runs, 4 extra base hits in the last 4 weeks versus that fastball. He's not going to be able to have that fastball from everybody, especially when you're throwing it 50% of the time. Take a look at Ryan Nelson splits. So at home, he's got a 6.6 ERA. That's interesting. He's pitching his worst at home on the road. Meh, right? So versus righties, he got a 350 batting average. That's not good. That's not good. So he's got to be pitching his worst at home versus righties at 386 batting average. K percentage is down uh, all across the board. Don't even look at him for strikeouts. At home versus lefties, he's pitching his worst at home. Hearn versus lefties, he's got a 304 batting average. So that's putting everybody on play. Um, who came everybody in play who got a bat, right? So that could be interesting. This could be an interesting game here. What's the total of this one here? A 9. A 9 total. I don't even I don't even think who the fuck is lefties? I don't even think they even have lefties over here. I don't even think they have lefties over here in Seattle. I mean, whatever you call this, Toronto. So, last 2 weeks, George Springer been showing out. Vladdy, mm, hmm, shit. Springer, Vladdy, like I say, IKF is down there somewhere. If he's in the lineup, let's be Springer, Vladdy for me. And like I said, as bad as he pitching versus righties, righty's getting a bump. Okay, righty's getting a bump. All right, And then in Minnesota and San Francisco game, we got to only run the 8 here, right? Um, First of all, I need to check Ryan splits. I know Ryan can give up a home run here. Oh yeah, Ernie Clement. Yeah, he checked. Pow. Yep. For sure. For sure. For sure. Yep. I think he pitches on the road better than he pitches at home. Ryan. So it's the bombs. Bombs versus lefties on the road. Bomb versus righties at home. I know he give up a home run. 22% K rate on the road versus lefties. He's got K stuff, though. We know that. The Giants. Okay. All right, let's take a look. So, um, Ramos continues to hit the ball hard as fuck. He got 3 home runs. Soler got 2 home runs versus pitch mix in the last 3 weeks. But these put on him in the lineup like Chapman, Soler, and Ramos. All these guys can strike out, right? All right, man. So let's see. Let's get the block out for him, man. Straight up. All right, I had to block him. All right, so let me see. San Francisco Giants. Hmm. K rate last 30 days. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They're around the middle of the pack, striking out. Mm. What's Ryan's strikeout prop? 6.5. Favored it to the over. Mm, mm, mm. Well, let me take a look at these lefties. Patrick Bailey. He's batting 300 versus this pitch. He's got a bomb. Mike Yaz ain't been batting, ain't been playing. Confronto's got a bomb. Mm, Bailey on the sleeper. Bailey, at least for a hit or something like that on the sleeper. Bailey will strike the fuck out. How about that? 35% K rate lately. I don't know, man. I don't know how I want to attack these guys here. Might have to just end up fading. He might end up hitting his strikeouts. He might end up hitting his strikeouts. So his strikeouts, they in play for me. They in play. Don't know if I'll get there on the whole 6.5. Might do them in a bankroll, but they in play for me. Um, Minnesota, um, they got Kyle Harrison on the mound here. Minnesota probably gonna look good. They probably gonna look good here. Let's see. Yeah, Minnesota's gonna look good. Versus, that's what you want to look at. That's what you're gonna want to look at. These lefties here. Mm. Minnesota been crushing the shit out of him. Uh, Lefties, man, straight up. ERA 4, 270 or better, 270 and 282 batting average versus lefties and righties. It's a pretty big park, I want to say. 274, 257. He's got a 36% K rate to lefties at home. That's his best split. Mm. They face a decent amount of lefties over the course of 4 weeks. Strikeout percentages, man. Hmm. What about these righties? Harrison got a 345 batting average versus righty lefties. 305 versus righties. What? Hmm. Byron Buxton. Miranda. Damn. Byron Buxton though. Miranda. Hmm. That's where it's at right there. Took him for a bomb the other day. He got robbed. I think it probably. I don't know if it's gonna go over, but it is what it is. Hmm. Look at that shit. 23% barrel rate, 72 hard hit, line drive 27. Oh my God, 44. Jesus Christ. Damn, Boston. Boston for home run. Last 3 weeks with a 471 batting average. Miranda. Boston and Miranda, man. Shit. Vasquez, they got stacked. They've been crushing lefties, man. Come to Minnesota, boys. Look at the K rate for Miranda. Ain't none. Zero. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. Wow. Okay. Mm. What's the projected lineup here? Top picks for today. They're gonna have Buston hitting in at 5. He's been hitting at 7 sometimes. Definitely an RBI candidate, home run candidate. Um, hmm. So for some batters, let's look at since DraftKings is an easy way to go through. Let's look at Trey Turner, Gunner. I can't even just all the Mets. I can't even pinpoint one. Right? It's a lot of traffic on these bases right here. A lot of traffic on the bases for Mets. Hits, runs, and RBIs. I'll just be betting them all. I might bet that whole game, like put $5 a piece on everybody on the Mets side and just let it ride. But the weather too, though. Same thing with the Cincinnati Reds. There should be traffic on the bases, especially on the Cincinnati side. Dela Cruz is the guy, right? Well, he looked the best for me on that side, followed by Jazz Chisholm on Miami side. Um, I gotta look into that Milwaukee game. Altuve. Damn, I don't know which one of these is gonna be my top bet. Fuck. Tell you what, I don't know. I want to go Wilson Contreras. I want to go Alec Burleson. I want to go. I want to go Arenado. Like, what the fuck? I don't know. I'm gonna have to revisit that. Yeah, we went over the weather earlier. It's gonna be raining. I just wish. I just wish Olsen was on top of his game, considering Vasquez is giving up a 400 batting average to lefties. Like, but I can't even recommend him because he's been so ass. And Austin Riley has been on fire, right? I mean, I got to give Austin Riley an honorable mention. Kristen Walker or Vladdy. Vladdy. Oops. Springer. Like Springer and Vladdy would be good for the combo home run. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be betting those. The combo home runs right here. Buxton. You get 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs for Buxton at minus 120. Like, please, right? Like, give me that. Like, thank you, right? Even if you don't hit it. And then on FanDuel, it's gonna come out and they're gonna give you the option to take 3 and 4. So I'm probably end up gonna take Buxton for like 4, right? Hits, runs, and RBIs. Um, Games where I expect traffic to be on bases. Like this 155 here would be a parlay piece for me. Henderson, straight bet net. Trey, straight bet net. But I ain't gonna lie, I'm probably gonna bet more than 20. I'm gonna have to take a look at him. I'm gonna bet like more than at least more than 20 bats. You know what I'm saying? More than 20 bats. I'll be betting them. Sort of like shooting dice. You know what I'm saying? I'm shooting like at least 20 bats. At least. You know what I'm saying? At least. A volume. I do got a volume problem. I do got a volume problem. But hey, it takes me 2 3 hours to go look through everything. Everything. It takes me like 2 3 hours to look through everything that I want to look at. Pitching wise, uh, pitching wise, because it's extremely too many bats still. You know what I'm saying? So pitching wise, looking at outs, I would look at Suarez. I don't know. If I was to go there, that would be a straight play. This could only be a parlay piece, right? Minus 245. His pitching outs. Bradley, he's in a good spot. We went over this. He's in a good spot. He's in a good spot. These these motherfuckers don't strike out much. So I'm undecided. Cole Reagan's 17 and a half. I'll use that as a parlay piece, right? Freddie, I gotta look into this. They must have him to be in a really good spot because this shit is at 18 and a half. I don't know how I feel about that. Hunter Brown, I didn't versus righties. Texas Rangers ain't been that good. The left hand batters over there are interesting versus his pitch mix, but as a whole, WRC Plus been down versus righties. I don't know what to expect for this Hunter Brown pitching outs. Sonny Gray, they just ain't been pitching him a lot of pitches. If he navigates that the outs the lineup efficiently, he gonna make it. But if they run a pitch count up on him, because he ain't been to 90 pitches, I really want to use this as a parlay piece. Anderson, I could use this for a parlay piece. I could. I don't want shit to do with neither one of these guys. Neither one of these motherfuckers, and I could consider 17 and a half pitching outs for Joe Ryan. I could. Strikeouts. Boy, I'm so undecided. I'm going past that shit right. Scooby he's good enough to hit it, but I'm not gonna put it in there. Toss Bradley, I just told y'all, his, he got a 5.5 K rate, K percentage. I mean K prop at plus 100. His to lefties, his K percentage is 42 at home percent, and to righties it's like 28 or 30%. And his K's is still at 5.5. They showing Cleveland love, right? They showing Cleveland love. I'm not fucking with Cole right now. Um, Cole Reagans, right? He's pitching his worst to lefties. This Boston team can throw out a ton of lefties. They can throw out a ton of lefties, but he's still in a good strikeout spot. He's pitching his worst to lefties, and his K rate to lefties is down in the teens. Still with an 8% K rate, and we got weather implications. So, can he hit it? Yes. Has he hit it versus this team? Yes. That was last year. His outs, fine for me. I still got to wait for the weather because I might take some alternate unders on him. You can get alternate unders on ESPN. I could probably take under 8.5 Ks. Make sure his ass go under, but I got to see what the weather look like. Make a personal judgment on it. Crochet, yes, they got to fuck me up. Even if it's a parlay piece, gotta fuck me up. Somebody I might want to take to 10. Pirates been hitting as of late, but I'm willing to take that dive. Sonny Gray, in instances, strikeout pitchers can get to their strikeouts before they get to their outs. I liked it for him. I like the strikeouts for him. I would consider altering his strikeouts down. I like the strikeouts for him going up against the Cubs. There was only one bat that I liked for the Cubs, and that was Michael Bush. I would consider going to his strikeouts. Tyler Anderson pitches enough innings against this weak ass team to hit the strikeouts, right? But is he gonna hit them? That's the thing. If I got plenty of time to think about if I want to go there or not. Just had an outlier game his last album versus the Cubs. He had 7 Ks. I don't know if I'm getting there. This is Seattle. I don't know if I'm getting there though, bro. I just don't know. Joe Ryan's supposed to hit his Ks, man. He's supposed to hit his Ks. He's supposed to hit his Ks. I lean towards the over Ks for Joe Ryan. He's supposed to hit them. That's all I can say. Soto should be up here. Judge should be up here. Otani should be up here. But even if we take this gunner down for rain, Trey Turner, Jose, Riley, Vladdy, Buxton, I could see myself taking down if I wanted to give you top three bats. Austin, if I want to give you a top three bats, it would be Turner, Altuve, and Buxton. Appreciate you guys for sliding. Appreciate you guys for sliding. Like I said, I will have this information out. Now, after the break, I'll be putting it all in form, and dumping it into the at one time, bang, dumping it into the community, into my community thing on YouTube, and I'll figure out how I want to do it. But at the end of the day, peace, man. Good chopping it up with y'all. It is what it is. Peace.